This past year has been exceptional for the Kentucky Chamber on several fronts. Our policy agenda, the 2016 legislative session, which was probably the best session for business in recent memory, and in terms of offering programs for our members, it was a banner year. A year ago, we laid out a vision for the Commonwealth called 4 Pillars for Prosperity in the hope that we could bring some focus during the governor's race on key economic issues. Our 4 pillars are a healthy and skilled workforce, a sustainable state government, 21st century infrastructure, and aggressive job creation. One of the strides we made under the workforce pillar was publishing a major report on Kentucky's workforce challenges, and through that, calling for changes in how programs are administered. Working with the Pritchard Committee on Academic Excellence, we also released a Citizen's Guide to Kentucky Education to give a 25-year perspective on where we've been and where we need to go. We also kicked off the Slam Dunk Kentucky campaign aimed at helping build on the momentum in Kentucky schools and promoting the state's high academic standards. We hosted a higher education symposium at our headquarters in June to bring experts from other states in to discuss results-based funding. And finally, we celebrated our 5th year of the Leadership Institute for School Principals. Since 2011, the program has sent more than 250 principals for executive-level leadership training at the Center for Creative Leadership in North Carolina. In our first 5 years, Chamber members have contributed more than $2.5 million to help make this program possible. When we talk about the second pillar, sustainable state government, we mean a state government that provides its basic services, pays its bills, and keeps its promises. Of course, this past year saw a governor's race, and the Chamber was there to give it a business focus. We interviewed the candidates, we published a voter's guide on business issues, and we staged a debate here at the summit. We worked hard to get Kentucky's pension crisis at the forefront of that dialogue. With a new governor inaugurated in December, and specifically with his budget address in January, the Chamber's 10-year campaign to address the pension problem got a major boost with the 2016 General Assembly. Alongside our lobbying effort in the session, the Chamber's Public Pension Task Force published a Citizen's Guide to the Pension Crisis and built a campaign around Frankfort being underwater. We also invited the Pew Charitable Trust back to Kentucky to do a 3-year checkup on our 2013 pension reforms to make sure we're still on track. To his credit, Governor Bevin built his budget around pensions, and the legislature gave him most of what he called for. And while there were painful cuts, the overall budget and the lack of the usual borrowing to make ends meet made for a relatively responsible plan. We were generally pleased. It sent a major message to Wall Street. Kentucky is getting its house in order. We know there is much more work to be done, but it was a huge step. Infrastructure is a critical piece of economic growth. 2016 saw the Chamber's public-private partnerships legislation passed, giving a major boost to what we refer to as P3 and providing the opportunity for private businesses and private money to help solve some of our public infrastructure challenges. It started with the Chamber publishing its report 3 years ago called Private Solutions to Public Problems. We formed a major coalition of business interests, lobbied for 3 years, and despite setbacks in the previous years, we were able to gain strong bipartisan support in 2016 to get P3 passed. We'll be sponsoring a summit later this year to demonstrate P3 success stories from other states. The passage of P3 sent a message that Kentucky is open for business. When it comes to job creation, nothing matters more than the overall business climate. In 2016, the Chamber provided the added push needed to get a felony expungement bill that had languished in the legislature for 10 years, and together with a variety of social justice groups, we finally got it passed. After focusing on the workforce benefits of getting former nonviolent offenders into productive jobs and carefully negotiating safeguards for businesses that might hire former offenders, the Chamber added its lobbying resources to the Smart on Crime Coalition and got the bill across the finish line. The Chamber also lobbied successfully for the long overdue passage of a hospitality measure that assists Kentucky distillers, wineries, and brewers by modernizing alcohol laws and putting producers on a level playing field. We were successful in getting a workers' compensation task force created that will make recommendations about the system and how to improve our business climate with common sense reforms. To promote entrepreneurism, the Chamber signed an agreement with Awesome Inc. of Lexington to professionally manage the Kentucky Entrepreneurs Hall of Fame program and build it into the showcase that it deserves to be. Our Chamber motto is Uniting Business, Advancing Kentucky. We listen to our members. We present a vision for Kentucky. We back it up with solid research and policy. We work with our elected officials to get good legislation introduced, and we get Chamber members involved in talking to their legislators. We work behind the scenes to get good bills passed. That's how we create progress for Kentucky. Almost every year, the Kentucky Chamber is named the top advocacy organization for its investment in lobbying the legislature. Why would we invest that much? Because there are hundreds of bills that could affect your ability to do business in Kentucky. We cull through them and focus our efforts on a few dozen that are the most important and most urgent. Meanwhile, we're doing the things that a business association does, putting on dozens of training seminars each year, offering discount programs to our members, and generally helping our members get the information they need to run profitable businesses. With a strong and diverse board of directors in the driver's seat, a professional staff working daily to unite business and advance Kentucky, and some significant momentum from recent successes, we are confident that great things are in the works for our Commonwealth.